Wow, we got tufts of hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, this room's going to get real hairy.
It's nice. Wow.
This is where they all want to be because they're not usually allowed in here.
And they're really enjoying it.
They're so thrilled. Like, I feel like they've accepted Doobie here a little more quickly.
Yeah, this is a Doobie working title, I believe. But
it's a working title. It's hard for me to commit to it. I really wanted to call him Freak.
I love that.
It feels good to call him a freak.
Yeah.
And I'll still do it, but Doobie feels too good to say.
It's
and
good.
It does fit. I was just looking at him. He's sitting on the toilet is where I was when I was looking at him.
Your toilet or his toilet?
It was my toilet.
Got it.
I was on it.
Oh, you were sitting on the toilet.
I happened to be sitting on the toilet. I was checking him out. I was giving him an ocular pat down, and I thought, Doobie, that's good. I'll never forget that moment. If he's a permanent installation in this house, then that was a significant moment. So
Right. We'll look back at that with reverence.
Hey, should we introduce? Well, yeah, this is we should just get into it.
Yeah.
It's the slime zone. The slime zone.
This is the Slime Zone. An unnecessary podcast is the prefix
That's nice.
that I'm tempted to use.
It's good.
Has a podcast ever been necessary?
Right.
We kind of already do one with Svengali's Playhouse, our Let's Play channel, but it's inevitable. This is the Slime Zone. It's a podcast featuring me, Michael. This is Jesse. He's currently the co-host. We'll see.
Yeah, well, I'll see how he fucking
There's
holds
been
on.
no paperwork has been signed.
No.
What's this? What's the deal? What is the point of this? What's the theme? If there's a theme, it's slime.
Yeah, well, you've lived a very slime-themed life.
Slime is just really an essential part of my vernacular and philosophy.
It is, if only everyone knew. But then also in subconscious ways, like you've loved Nickelodeon. Maybe in particular, I think like Nickelodeon has stuck with you more than obviously Nickelodeon canonical seed in everybody in our generation's life.
Yeah.
But I feel like you've held on to it more and enjoyed it more than a lot of people I know.
It's for sure
Slimy.
I had that thought when I settled on the name The Slime Zone that people might think it's a Nickelodeon themed podcast, which it isn't.
Not bad.
But you're right to say Nickelodeon is a huge influential force on me in my life. Look at this.
Wow, we had some fights.
This is good. Oh, it's been snippy, but we're getting into more playful fights.
Got it. Well, that's cool.
Let's get more playful.
We'll figure it out.
They're still hissing just out of reflex, but they'll get over it.
Sure, yeah, it's part of the circle of life.
I don't know. Hopefully it's good. Someone's been pooping in the bathtub. I think it
Oh,
scrambles.
that's fun. There's a lot of these are like growing pains,
Maybe.
basically.
When she's upset, that's her default is to poop in the bathtub.
Oh yeah, she's like it's like Tina Belcher or something. I gotta go.
I gotta go to the bathroom. Yeah, it's just her way of coping, you know? Who can blame her?
not
What
too bad.
better place to poop if not in the toilet?
If you're gonna have an accident,
Is there literally, and if we're pooping indoors and it's not in the toilet, what better place
Right.
than the bathtub?
and the sink is worse, but still a better.
The sink is the second best, I
Right.
guess.
Right.
I mean, but then again, what sink? Is the kitchen sink the best? No, probably the bathroom sink. But then again, the kitchen sink's probably going to be easier to clean.
Right.
It's harder.
I was gonna say the kitchen sink can just handle that. Probably like there might be a disposal.
Yeah, just pop yeah, definitely do that. Pour some milk in there and get it all
Yeah.
frothed up. Hit the now we're getting a little carried away here.
Maybe this is this point though. Maybe the slime zone is about, at least in part, discovering new goops and
I
gunks.
certainly think new goops and gunks that we haven't considered will.
Cat shit and milk is a good one.
It would neither cat shit nor milk are goopy substances. Well, fresh milk's not goopy, but it gets goopy.
Together,
Together,
though.
it's definitely goopy. That's a goopy fusion, and I think that's the type of discovery we should strive to make
right,
here on the Slime Zone.
right.
All right, so let's figure this out real time.
Okay.
I don't know what the philosophy of this podcast is, but I do know we've got some segments. Really just one for today.
Okay.
And I want to come up with more segments, and we're just going to kind of try stuff out, see what feels good, what catches. We'll figure out what this is about, surely, if we surpass 5 episodes. Fun fact, I don't know if this is a fact, I heard it somewhere, but 95% of podcasts don't surpass 5 episodes.
Wow. That is pithy.
It is.
But are your stats like that all the time? Or like, the fact it's like 40,000 or more songs get uploaded a day to Spotify or whatever?
Yeah.
And it's like, it is amazing. But I feel like it's more a reflection of like, here's just how flippant everyone, like I feel like people hear that stat and they think like, oh my God, all of these hardworking people, they don't get the recognition they deserve or whatever.
Right. I don't think it's that.
Me
I
either.
think it's just an oversaturated. Is it even a market? Are you even in the market if you do less than 5 episodes of a podcast?
Right. How committed, how much of a business approach was this really for you?
Just amongst like my friend circles, I mean, each individual clique of people I can think of has at some point had the conversation or the phrase has popped up, we should do a podcast. And it usually doesn't happen at all. But think about all the times it does happen, and people realize that it's time consuming and it loses the novelty after maybe just 1 episode.
True.
Evidently less than 5 is when it starts to get boring.
You need chemistry. You need ideas.
Yeah. I think it's hard to talk for an hour too, just generally.
And we have a lot of practice with this.
I guess
at
we
this
do.
point, multiple verticals.
Yeah. We've been doing Svengali's Playhouse for over a year now.
It's pretty fucked up.
18 months.
It's pretty crazy.
I don't even know how many episodes we've done, but
yeah, maybe 200.
I was worried that the again, we're less than 10 minutes in, or about 10 minutes in.
Wow.
So far, so good.
Yeah, pretty good.
But I was afraid removing the crutch of having a video game to play would really hamstring us here.
No, I think I've been excited to do this because I think that could be happening, but I think it also opens up.
I think it's liberating.
Right.
That was my thought. That's why I thought this was worth doing.
Yeah.
And time will tell if that was a good call. Anyhow, so there's only one segment that I think we should try and get into right now. It's the only one I've thought of, and it started with the title, let's get in the goo.
Yeah, yeah.
Or getting in the goo.
Yeah.
So how about we get in the goo?
Oh my God, okay. We've kind of been getting in the goo a little bit, right? As it like kind of this banter.
Interesting that you would say that.
Okay.
Because to me, the concept of getting in the goo is still a bit nebulous.
Okay, yeah.
But I wrote down on my iPhone note, like loosely what I thought getting in the goo was. Let me see what I wrote.
All right, cool.
Where did I put that?
Oh, it's right there.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought
within reach.
I liked the way what I wrote sounded, but I feel like there's a good chance the way we define this segment could change over time. Getting in the goo. In this segment, we steep ourselves in the viscous goo that lubricates the machinery of life and ask the big questions.
The machinery of life. Okay.
Yeah, so,
That's good.
in this canon, life is fueled by, it's like the Force, but it's goo, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
We're tapping into the connective spiritual tissue of existence,
Yeah.
but we call the goo.
It's the goo.
It's one letter off from God.
We want to, it is. Goo is one letter off from God, and that is not an accident.
No.
Yeah, I think our getting in the goo segment, which I think just should be a regular segment, is it's about asking a provocative question,
Okay, got
a question that's not asked
Got it.
often, or maybe it is asked often, but a tough question to answer. But I think we should take a crack at it.
Let's. Do you have an idea?
Yeah, I do. I thought we should start off with lighter fare, since this is the first episode.
All right, cool.
And discuss what the best religion is. What is the best religion?
Oh
This
my
is a hot topic, I would say. Would you agree?
It's the hottest.
Hands down, the hottest topic, honestly.
The hottest topic for centuries.
It's gotten people broiling for millennia.
Right.
I hate to say it.
I hate to hear it.
It's taken that long to figure it out, but we're going to figure it out right now.
Okay.
Here on the Slime Zone.
Right.
So, look, I didn't come in here with an answer. I want this to be a discussion because there are lots of angles to consider. Obviously, this is a prickly question.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this is my answer, but I think the obvious answer that anyone would give is Christianity. It's the most popular.
It's popular.
It's the most widely adopted religion. What would you say? I know for you, I know Christianity's probably not your favorite.
I was chewing on this a little bit already because, best, it depends on what aspect. For me, the best religion has totally different things than it would for somebody who values different things.
Right. People get into religion for different reasons.
Right. For me, it's like the best religion would be something that is kind of personal by design and sets that forth as a value. Be like, this is a personal journey.
Yeah.
And the easy hip answer for me would be like Buddhism.
I thought so. Buddha, very introspective religion.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it. I don't even know why I just said that. That's the impression I have of Buddhism. So it's an introspective.
I don't know it well either.
Don't you have to like not have stuff though?
It's
Isn't that part
also
of it?
not really my lifestyle. Yeah.
I love having stuff.
Yeah, it's a good time.
So Buddhism sucks.
Right. This is exactly my point.
Yeah.
Because then there's other people who would say like, and we could get into this, but like, would you call, for the sake of this conversation, atheism a religion? A lot of people would say it's not, including me. I would say it's not a religion, but I could also understand someone being like, it's a system of living.
A system of belief. Well, it almost is. I don't know. What's more of a? I would disqualify atheism from this conversation.
Same,
but atheism versus what's the other one? Where you don't
like agnostic or something.
Yeah, agnosticism.
Basically,
I don't see those as religions. I see those as more. I feel like atheism is like an active disbelief.
Yeah.
In God, and agnosticism is more like a. I don't know.
Beats me,
baby.
So some people, like, here's my thing with this. Like, I'm kind of almost thinking about it in the moment of like, what's the best religion? It's like, well, if you're gonna get into religions, you may as well like start getting in that mindset and be like, you know what? Give me some rules. Give me some tough challenges. Give me some like if you're embracing, like, what's the best religion? It's like, maybe the best religion is the one with the most, that's toughest to maintain, because that's like the ultimate.
It's like the hard mode.
Right.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting
it's like the
perspective.
Lamborghini of religions might be the one that's like the most punishing.
Okay. What's the most punishing religion? I want to say Islam, because it's pretty. There are a lot of rules, but then again, there's being Mormon is kind of intense.
Right.
And you got to go on mission trips and shit.
Yeah.
You can't drink coffee. You still can't. You can't bang until you're wedlocked. And even then, like, you're not supposed to enjoy it. Although that's maybe more of a Catholic thing. I don't know.
I was gonna say also Roman Catholicism.
Does Mormonism fall under the umbrella of Christianity?
I think so.
But they got their own book. They got their own book.
Joseph Smith.
The Book of Mormon. Yeah, the Joseph Smith thing.
And he buried like golden tablets somewhere.
The balloons are tablets, and they've
doubloons.
Yeah, they got there's I don't remember. The South Park did that one, obviously, and they had the whole play
and
the musical.
Scientology. Oh,
Scientology's a religion too. I feel like Scientology is by design easy to get into because they're trying to acquire as many customers as possible.
Yep.
Not unlike Christianity, but Scientology veers more into cold territory.
Right, and it's
but it's punishing, I would say.
Absolutely. I would say you hold up Christianity to Scientology, and there's a lot of similarities.
I mean, maybe Scientology to me, I feel like it should count as a religion in this discussion.
1,000,000% for me.
But it's also like literally like it's like a scam. It's like a pyramid scheme type thing. Definitely very expensive.
Yes.
So
see, I guess I'm thinking like
maybe it's the best because it's reserved for largely the Hollywood elite.
Right.
The religion of the Hollywood elite. Tom Cruise is all about it, and
shit.
he's very limber. So he's
Right.
got to be onto
He
something.
jumps off of planes.
Constantly.
He can't be stopped with
He's
that.
been doing it for decades.
With this question, it's like I'm trying to find an analogy that will bring this to life a little bit. But it's like, on one hand, you want to pick, like, what's the best religion? It's like, well, I want to pick the one that feels best to me as one individual. But if it's like, it's kind of like...
I don't think that's the way to look at this question.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's kind of like going into a gun store and being like, what's the best gun? And it's like, well, I'm not interested in like a bazooka, but if they have one, that's the best, right?
Right. Is the best gun the one with the most destructive power? No. It's not what I asked. I asked, what's the best gun?
Period.
What's the best religion? Like, you got to rank them. And we're not splitting hairs here. Okay. It's a bulletin board in an elementary school hallway.
Right.
And in Comic Sans font,
Best religion.
it says best religions ranked from 1 to 10. I know there are more than that, but these are the top 10.
Sure.
And, I think Judaism, I'm a little biased.
I haven't brought it up, but yeah.
I think Judaism has got some mad points. First off, bar mitzvah. It's a little hard. There's work involved, which to your sensibilities is inherently valuable.
Right.
You got to do a little work for it, but when you get your bar mitzvah, not only do you become a man or a woman, but you get a fat stack. Conventionally,
You do.
You get tons of dough as a kid.
You do.
Upwards of $1,200, and that's pretty sweet. So, I think Judaism gets mad points there. Also, not a particularly judgmental religion.
No.
Judaism is it's not. There's no proselytizing, which I find icky personally.
Ooh.
Religions that proselytize kind of give me the heebie-jeebies, and that's most of them. That's not most of them. That's overwhelmingly Christianity, which is the number one. So maybe
they have a good marketing team.
They got a huge marketing team. So do the Mormons, the Jehovah's Witnesses. Did I tell you about the time I had Jehovah's Witnesses coming to my door every week with an iPad showing me videos of the apocalypse?
iPad. No. Is this at your old house?
This was at my apartment off White Bridge.
Oh my God.
And
holy shit.
this was right before I left. So like 1 week they came there and I was just gone. But they would come with an iPad like, hey, we just want to, show you something and get your thoughts. I'm like, all right. And they literally have an iPad and they show me this decently produced, like I'd say, medium budget, like,
wow,
like motion picture of how the Jehovah's Witness apocalypse is coming. I've wanted to talk about the special effects, but I know that's not what they wanted to talk about. I was like, I was just being very polite. I was also in my early 20s at the time. Very, I'm a polite person, and they weren't even asking for money. They just wanted to show me their nice movie.
I mean, that's purely a gift to you.
It is. It raises Jehovah's Witnesses in my esteem.
I have a couple questions about this. Knowing you, I would expect you to kind of be like having to stifle your laughter about the absurdity of the whole thing.
I was definitely trying to not smile. I was definitely smiling because I couldn't help it.
It's like too good. It's like
it was very fun. I knew like as soon as they pulled the iPad out that I was going to be talking about it for the rest of my life.
Right.
And this happened multiple times because they're like, all right, well,
we'll show you part two.
We'll see you next week.
Right.
I guess they just thought they'd just keep checking in on me until I signed up.
Just basting you with media.
They're basting me with media, preparing me like a turkey.
We'll be back for your next dosage.
Yeah.
Smart. It's like it's adhering to some marketing principles.
It stuck with me.
Yeah.
So there's something to it.
Big time.
Anyway, I didn't mean to digress.
No, that was on topic, I would say.
Yeah, Jehovah's Witnesses get some points there and they get proselytized. But Judaism, back to my original point.
Judaism is pretty user-friendly.
It might be my number one. Also, kind of like underdogs. Just
constant.
You don't think about that. It's and not underdog in the sense that it's the least popular religion, but I mean just been getting genocided for millennia.
Yep.
We love to pick on the Jews, and the Jews are gonna shine.
They're not. Your average Jew is not pompous.
Perhaps not.
But your average Christian, it kind of is, you know. No, I won't say pompous, like, but maybe a little haughty.
A little haughty.
There are some hotties over there.
Jews can definitely be pompous. I'm gonna say I thought it might be funny to make some sweeping generalizations.
Yeah.
I know some pompous Jews.
There you go.
But I would say on average, your average Christian is going to wield. It's more popular for Christians to wield their religion, I think, for toxic purposes,
right,
than Jews, in my personal experience.
Yeah, and I'm also speaking to, like, you know, almost like caricature, like stereotype. You know, your typical Southern Christian.
Oh yeah,
bless your heart type person.
Bless your heart, people. Self-righteous.
Well, yeah. That's a better word. It's just, it's I guess it's more an American thing. You know, the stereotypical American is like, you know, proud of everything. True. But I feel like many other religions are more like, I'm just gonna do my shit.
It's for me. It's
right.
And again, we've discussed Christianity a good amount up to this point. And I feel like I'm often defending Christianity in our conversations, because I know plenty of Christians who do, you know, feel that way about their own religion. It's like a very personal thing, their relationship with Jesus Christ. And, you know, it seems awesome when I hear about it. And I'm like, I want to get in on that. I wish I could. I've had the offer extended to me, but I've just, I don't know, I just can't connect. With them, but it seems great. It's different for everybody. Judaism, I think, on the whole, though, since there's no impetus in Judaism to convert people,
right? With
Christianity or many forms of it, it's like if you don't do it, you go to hell. And so, if you're a Christian fellow with non-Christian friends, you feel like it's your moral obligation to convert them.
I know, like, your blood is on your hands effectively.
Yeah.
Soul blood.
I can't imagine. That's so stressful. Like, seriously, takes it down several notches for me. I don't want to sign up for that responsibility.
I want to ask this question about this, which is like, which religion is the least boring, or most boring?
It's the most
like, which is the most thrilling?
Yeah.
Because to me, that wins points.
Thrilling religion.
You know, it's like, I guess this goes with it. Like, you know, someone could hear that and be like, well, the ones that require abstinence are the most thrilling, because then the whole world is like this booby-trapped land that you live in.
Right.
And
It's
that's
all about,
like thrilling. Like, oh my God, dude. Or having to like get absolved for this hand job you got or whatever.
Right.
That's like a big,
that's kind of thrilling. Catholicism seems thrilling in that way, because you're constantly stimulated by the guilt. And you get to do the confession stuff, so it's just this constant up and down of just like, or I don't know. I've never been Catholic. I don't know how it feels to be Catholic, but it does seem like an emotional roller coaster.
It is. It is. I think you're describing it accurately, because I was raised Roman Catholic, and it is. You are just kind of living between seasons of, are my sins absolved or are they not? You're kind of always feeling like, I'm loaded up with sins. I'm fucked until I offload this.
What could be more exciting? Constant conflict moves the story forward.
Exactly. That's my point.
Whereas,
does that make it better, even though it's unpleasant for a lot of them?
I mean, I suppose the best religion is the one that, well, I don't know. There are two major components. There's quality of life, you know, the amount of fulfillment that you get from your religion,
right,
in the mortal plane. And then if it's a religion that prescribes to the afterlife concept,
what are the best spoils?
Yeah, you get the best spoils, but the religions that are into the afterlife, I think, are going to be the most boring.
I know,
because you're saving all the good stuff for after you die. I want to entertain the afterlife in all fairness, because I guess if you, for the sake of this conversation, like a religion that, you know, believes in the afterlife, we should treat it like it's real. So Catholicism in that way sucks when you're alive, but afterwards it's bussin'.
They say it's bussin'.
Straight bussin'.
We had like we just called it religion, our like Sunday school thing we did on Sunday mornings.
What do you mean you called it religion?
We like, we would call this one class every Sunday that we would go to as kids
Religion
as going
class?
to religion.
Oh, that seems really weird.
Yeah, maybe it is a little weird thinking back on it, but so there'd be like dumb little lessons that Donna gave us. And things, and then sometimes people would come in and like tell stories or like give their testimonies.
Religious guest speakers.
Yeah,
fun.
And we did had someone that was like talking about someone they knew, or actually thinking back, I felt like they were just talking about some like news story of someone who like died, but got a glimpse of the afterlife.
Oh, okay.
And it was sharing the story. This other person was like, and when they saw what heaven looked like, it was like they couldn't believe how good they felt, and the flowers were singing and the light was perfect. And it was just like the way that it talked about it was almost as if it were like you were watching Yellow Submarine by the Beatles, that movie.
Haven't seen it.
Just kind of like generically wondrous and unexplainable.
Right. The sky was so blue.
Yeah, and it's like that doesn't sound like, I feel like I get what they're trying to do there, but
yeah, I mean, like,
I need
if
some
that's
tangibles.
Heaven is you need some tangibles. I need snapshots. I need footage. I need the demo.
Right, I need a trial.
I think that would be fair. If you're gonna convert to a religion for the sake of the afterlife, Islam, Christianity, whichever other ones have afterlives, you should be able to take a demo of the afterlife that you're signing up for.
I guess both ends, if there's a negative or a positive end.
Right, yeah.
Which maybe sometimes
you want a glimpse hell, and I guess there are a lot of people out there trying to tell you, show you. There's lots of comics about hell. What do you call those? Where they it's like the little tiny little booklet of how you're going to go to hell.
Comics about it.
They pass these out. These like
oh sure, yeah.
You don't know what I'm talking about?
I guess not.
I forget what. There's a weird name for them.
Truly a comic, like with panels and characters.
Yeah, there's these little like there would be a guy like standing on the corner, like handing them out to anybody, like on a public street, like because it's like it's like proselytizing stuff. It's
right.
Like, this is what's gonna happen to you if you don't, repent or whatever. And yeah, they'd be like little comics, little picture books. And what was my point? Why did I bring that up?
A sampler of hell, perhaps?
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, so that's
Slashhead.
essentially a sampler of hell, but it's a picture book and it's from a dubious source. I think we should have like a VR.
Dubious.
Dubious.
This cat's name is Doobie. Maybe.
Dubious L. Jackson.
Nice.
Thanks.
L. Jackson.
Right.
As a suffix is really great.
Like Samuel L. Jackson.
Right.
Isn't it L. Jackson?
Yeah. Samuel L. Jackson.
Wow. Okay. Samuel L.
Samuel L.
Why do we gotta? I guess the Samuel Jackson's too generic a name.
Right. Sam Jackson. Yeah, I don't know.
With Islam, you get the virgins. Okay.
Yeah, but here's the merit of that to me is that they're telling you it's like 900 or whatever.
No, it's 90, 80. How many virgins? 70, 76?
It's a discrete number.
It's a specific number. Yeah.
That is, at least they're like putting their offer on the table and saying like, look, this is what it is. It's clear. It's understandable.
You got to appreciate that. And, for that reason, I considered ranking Islam, higher, maybe number one. But then again, it's like, I know that's probably got a lot of appeal to a lot of boys out there or girls. Where do women go? What do they get? Do I want to deal with that many virgins? Do I want any virgins?
Yeah, it might be a big problem.
Are those virgins yours to de-virginize? Is that the idea? Because I don't think the best banging happens with virgins. Virginal women.
I was not a great sexual partner when I was a virgin.
Yeah, I don't think it's conducive to a good time.
It's a little bit of an oxymoron because technically no virgin has ever, like, if you're the minute you insert,
well, they're no longer virgins.
You're no longer a virgin, so
you can't have sex with a virgin,
right? So it's an oxymoron.
That's real. Now we're getting into
do they poof? Do you have sex with them? They just poof.
Yeah, they dematerialize.
They exit their criteria that makes them. Yeah.
What is the Muslim afterlife called? Doesn't have a word? It's like
Wish I knew. I totally.
the king. I don't know.
I understand why Joe Rogan has Jamie now.
Right? Yeah, I was thinking about that. I'm like, well, I'll just be the Jamie here.
Right.
But I don't want to. I'm not. Well, I'm gonna look. Phone's in my hand.
Yeah, it's good. There's some things that require validating.
Yeah, we can.
Lest we, hurt somebody irreparably.
Oh, if we're worried about that, I don't think.
Well, I'm just in general not wanting to.
I want to be fact checking.
Yeah. I in general want to.
But we did come into this conversation very ignorant.
Yes, let it be known. That's kind of. I mean, I hope you all understand.
After
this.
death, most Muslims believe that the soul will enter barzakh, a state of waiting until the day of judgment. So that's not.
So that's
not
limbo.
heaven. I don't think they have a snappy word for it,
Right.
but they do have one for purgatory. It's barzakh.
Barzakh. That's where you went to high school, isn't it?
It was Barstow.
Oh, okay.
Very close.
It's funny.
Good one. Anyway.
So I feel like I personally have gotten no closer to this potential answer. I know that Roman Catholicism, not the best.
Yeah, I think that's a granted. I was like,
But again, it's kind of like what I'm trying to get at here is the most religion-y religion might be the best. Like, what's the one that's the toughest to adhere to, the most punishing, maybe the most spoils, maybe the most requires the most, diligence and patience.
sacrifice.
And I'm likening that to kind of being like, what's the best iPhone? Is it the iPhone 14 Pro or the, it's like, you obviously will have someone that makes a case like the iPhone 6S was, I think, the best for these reasons, even though it was not the most powerful.
The best of anything is rarely the best in every single facet.
Yes.
We're talking holistically.
Right.
Based off of the criteria that you just listed, I think you should consider Mormonism because it is a very religion, and which is ironic because a lot of people don't consider it much of a religion. They think it's kind of goofy.
They do.
But how different is it from, vanilla Christianity? I mean, there's more sacrifice. You can't.
That's a good point.
You can't. The whole not drinking coffee thing,
That
I think
hurts.
that's a big one.
That hurts.
Like with Islam, you just can't drink alcohol, but I know you can drink coffee. I don't know what else you can't do. Look, we're spitballing here. But going off of our superficial understanding, I think Mormonism might be the best.
I understand where you're headed with this.
And the spoils have got to be good. The spoils are good. Plus, every Mormon that I've met, personally, lovely. Seem to be loving life.
Oh, great.
A zest for life that I've seen scarcely rivaled. And so
Scarcely
you got a
rivaled.
great, community. Family units usually pretty strong. Education's important. I mean,
The one Mormon that I know of consciously, there might be more, obviously, that I'm not clocking, had to escape everyone in her family because they were so terribly toxic.
Oh.
Now, that's who's to say that the religion is not just laid over a separate problem?
I think that's what it always is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess maybe just my sample size is a little skewed. I've got some great Mormons in my life that are fine with me not being Mormon. They seem less
great.
concerned with non-Mormons than other sects of religion, of Christianity specifically.
Right.
And they have family game night every Friday. That is
Oh.
part of being a Mormon, is you get to play games.
Oh, my God.
And so that's
pretty
fun.
good.
It's rewarding. It's not all pain and suffering the whole way through, but
Right.
it's discipline involved. And you got to go on those mission trips. You got to wear those little funny suits,
Yeah.
your pants and your shirts. But also consider how handsome many Mormon men are. Famous Mormons.
More men?
More men are conventionally
And
attractive.
more women?
You got Brendan Urie was raised Mormon, I believe.
Oh. Wow.
And he's a hottie.
He's a hot, and he's not haughty either. Well,
He ain't
who's to
hottie.
say? Now, what about Satanism?
Yeah, I've considered Satanism, and I figured that would come up. I'm surprised it didn't come up sooner.
I forgot about it.
I just know so little about it.
I think that Satan is the true, like, I don't know how much you have to register your religion. There is the Church of Satanism, the Church of Satan, and I think they mostly exist almost as like a tongue-in-cheek,
It seems
political
tongue-in-cheek
response to Christianity.
Right, like the flying spaghetti monster
It's
thing.
a bit like that.
I was like, do we bring those in the equation?
right.
I don't think so, because
I
it's
think
like
you just go most yeah.
yeah, well, those aren't legitimate.
We know the mainstream, mainline,
But-
historically relevant.
Satanists might take it seriously. Some of them. What about like Wiccans? What do you call that?
Right, which, pun intended, which I don't know about that.
Satanism is, this is Wikipedia, a group of ideological and philosophical beliefs based on Satan. Sounds like a religion.
Yeah.
Although several historical precedents exist, the contemporary religious practice of Satanism began with the founding of the Atheistic Church of Satan.
Right.
So it's kind of a spin-off of atheism.
Spin-off of atheism. Yeah, they're almost
But you're right. It is kind of just like a response to Christianity.
right. They're not sincere in their belief. Like, I think they're mostly
Comedians.
atheists that are being kind of annoying to Christian to be like, look, we're a religion too.
They're
We are.
like trolls. They're
They're trolling
atheists.
Christianity.
Nice.
Like, well, if your thing is real, then we're real, kind of thing. It's in your book.
That's the same thing with the spaghetti monster, which was funny the first time
For
it
a
popped up.
moment,
Like, haha.
yeah.
But then people took it too seriously, and then it just got annoying
There you go.
to me personally.
Not the best. These are not the traits of the best religion.
I don't think so. Pettiness.
Yeah.
Unattractive.
Ew. Yeah.
Cringe.
Great, if you will. So, Judaism is a great answer. It's hands off enough while being hands on enough.
There's just so much rich culture around it.
There's historicity. There's
Food and
great food.
you get
There's Dayenu.
there's Dayenu.
There's games.
There's Baruch Atah. There's
the gold coins. The chocolate
matzah.
coins.
It's fun. You get fun vernacular. You get language. The whole language that comes with
Mensch.
it. You got mensch. You got chutzpah. You got schmuck. You got schlemiel.
Schmutz.
You got schmutz. And and also being raised Jewish, which makes me Jewish in a lot of people's eyes.
Right.
People find it very fascinating, which is fun. The novelty, and also I'm Jewish enough to be able to cash in on some of the perks. Get to say the words.
On your cash in on your cachet.
Yeah, I can say some racy things about Judaism,
my
and it's
God.
okay because I went to synagogue,
There you
but I
go.
didn't get my bar mitzvah, so there's like a hard
You didn't get a barm?
didn't do the bar mitzvah. I didn't want to do the work, and plus you got to perform in front of people.
You didn't want your 12 hundo?
I wanted the 12 hundo, but I didn't want to memorize a bunch of Hebrew and do a concert. I was nervous. Plus, I knew I didn't really buy it. It would have felt dirty. Would have felt dirty.
So similar to a bar mitzvah is a confirmation in Roman Catholicism,
Oh,
which I did.
do all your family members
They
give
do.
you envelopes full of $100
My
bills?
first grade teacher came to my confirmation, and I guess was, in high school.
Oh, so how old? You were in high school?
Yeah, I think I got confirmed at like 16,
Wow,
and my first grade teacher came
that's
from
awesome.
however many years ago. Like, it was that important to her. Like, what am I, Mrs. Spyro?
Mrs. Spyro.
Here's the thing about Mrs. Spyro. Who knows what she really looks like, but in my mind, she's like a cartoon character of a person.
Just Spyro the Dragon.
I know. Her name's Mrs. Spyro.
I just picture any of the adult dragons. How do you not picture Spyro? How is it spelled? With an I or a Y?
I don't remember. Maybe
It better be Y.
I know.
That'd be way more interesting.
I could draw her like, like a caricature, like funny doodle. And it would be like, she had these really striking, clear features that would be like a Miss, she didn't look like Miss Frizzle, but that level of like boisterous aesthetic.
Maybe we need to bring the whiteboard back out and do a
Yeah,
little illustration
yeah.
here. I love your drawings.
Oh, yeah? How many do I do a lot of drawings?
I mean, We've had it. We've
I know what you're referring to.
implemented the whiteboard a couple times.
It could be good. That could be a good aspect of our show.
Well, I'm going to put a TV there for sure.
Oh.
And we can use that for when we do funny things, such as alignment charts or
Great.
or tier lists or just videos that we want to watch and comment
React
on.
to, yeah.
So like this room's going to get enhanced. It's going to get redesigned a little bit.
Pumped.
We gotta finish up this conversation.
Okay.
We gotta to make a determination. I think it's down to Mormonism and Judaism. It sounds like.
Yeah.
And I mean, you made a good point with Catholicism. You get the confirmation thing, and that's fun. That makes Catholicism seem a little better. Very religion-y religion, which is an attractive trait.
Yeah.
I still think Judaism's better. I feel like there's less, there's less blowback. You don't, get excommunicated if you just don't do Jewish stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unless you're like super hardcore, like Hasidic, I can't relate to that. But Mormonism, I don't know if I'm just picking one.
It's good.
If I'm picking one, I'm going to say Mormonism. 'Cause Judaism, like I feel Judaism, it's too loosey goosey. Like
Exactly.
I feel like if you're going to be a Mormon, you got to earn it. You can't slack as a Mormon.
Exactly.
You gotta be actively Mormon.
It's like if you were saying like, what's the best sport? And it's like Foursquare, it's like very accessible, but it's
Foursquare is sport? That's a game though.
It's a game. I guess it's where I'm headed.
But aren't all sports games?
Exactly.
What the fuck? Oh wow.
I'm just trying to figure
What's
out
the best sport? That could be another conversation.
Or like, what's the best cheese? It's like, oh, I'm going for this cheese which tastes the least like cheese, and I'm calling that the best. It's like, well, shouldn't it be by that logic the worst?
Yeah. What's the best cheese? What's the best at being cheese?
That's the way I'm approaching.
Is it cheddar?
this.
Okay. I mean, look, we entered this conversation without specific parameters.
That's true.
And that was by design. It was intentional.
So I'm tempted to pick like, Islam, where it's like, it's really fucking hard to do because it's perhaps the most involved and integrated.
And it's extremely popular too. It's number
also
2.
very pop.
I'm pretty sure it's number 2.
Also very pop. So for me, on one realm, Judaism feels really right because it's like, if you have to be religious, that's kind of the one you want.
If I was picking for myself, I would pick a religion. I'd pick Judaism because I'm already kind of doing it.
We
I'm
didn't even
familiar.
talk about Hinduism either.
No, didn't even bring it up. I don't know enough about it.
I don't know enough about it either.
But I mean, Hinduism, I couldn't even begin to delineate the difference between Hinduism and Buddhism. I just don't know. I just don't know. To me, they're very similar.
There may be a lot of traits.
I don't know. I'm not saying they're similar. I'm saying I don't know if they aren't.
I love the idea of if I end up saying my final answer is Islam or something, I'm like, boom, Islam is the best religion. I wonder if it'll be like get really popular online and be like, yes, he's promoting Islam. We love it.
Well, shit. Now we want to. Do we want to go with the tide?
Do we want to co-sign? Yeah, exactly. Like algorithmically.
Islam does feel like a very religion-y religion.
Right. A lot going on.
Feels like higher stakes, higher rewards. Better terrorism, if we get into that. But,
and then
Christians, who spilled more blood?
Better terrorism. Right, exactly. Exactly.
So, and is bloodshed? Is that are those points?
Yeah, is that a fast?
Does it give points or take them away? I think it takes them away. More points towards Mormonism. That's my final answer. For me, it's Mormonism.
Yeah.
Okay, it's very religion-y, very pacifist.
Yes. It's a good call.
But so are Quakers. Don't even get me started on Quakers.
Right. But it's got the exciting, weird things about religion.
It's very exciting.
In a deep way.
Lots of ritual, and lots of sacrifice, but great family dynamics. Good values.
Right.
Good values. Values that I agree with generally.
Sure.
As far as how you should live your life.
Are you're saying Mormonism? It's good.
I'm saying at this point in the episode, Mormonism is the best religion.
I like it.
It's not the one I want to do, but it's the best.
I'm going to say Judaism.
Judaism. I like that.
I think between both of us, that covers like the perfect ground.
I like Judaism enough to not fight you about it, to not fight you on it.
Sure.
I think Judaism, again, that's the one that I would pick for myself. I think Judaism's great. It's got a lot of perks. Mormonism slaps in different ways. But your answer's Judaism. I can't fight you on that.
Well, you really convinced
neck and
me.
neck. Oh yeah, I sold you on Judaism.
I really coming into this pretty open to anything, any outcome.
Wow.
But Judaism, you're making me realize, it's like if I had to hop into a religion, it's like I'm not doing Roman Catholicism again. Don't want to do Christianity. I don't want to do something more intense like Mormonism or Islam, or again, I can't really speak to Hinduism. But I would avoid intensity.
The Judaism, the intensity is scalable. Think about that.
Right. Like you can self-select your intensity level.
Yeah, I guess so.
Is that what you
I didn't
mean?
even consider that.
Oh, no.
Scalable levels of intensity.
That's right. Like Roman Catholicism, like you can't be a casual. You're doing it wrong.
Yeah. Can't be casual Mormon.
Right.
You can't. Islam, far less scalable.
Right.
You can be... They're different, Islam's such a vast religion. It's scalable to a degree. Mormonism, hard stop. It's like you're either Mormon or you aren't.
Right.
And
I want to know, is scalability good or bad for this prompt?
Didn't consider. I think it's good. And with that in mind, Judaism is the best.
Oh man,
it's the best. It's scalable, but it's got so much fun. Bar mitzvahs, chutzpah. Did we say chutzpah already? Great. Great word. Hebrew is fun. That's not Hebrew, that's Yiddish.
Right.
Hebrew is also fun. It's its own language.
Have you ever eaten gefilte fish?
Yes, I love gefilte fish.
Me too.
It's so good. I'm constantly promoting gefilte fish because most people haven't had it.
Right.
And it's like a disgusting fish paste. It's like an amalgamation of fish, but it's delicious.
Is it perhaps a goop or a slime?
Oh my God. It is definitely a goop. Well, it starts as a goop. It ends as a patty. It doesn't start as a goop, but it congeals from goop. So it's gotta fit in the brand here somehow. We should eat gefilte fish sometime
on the show.
But you've had it before.
I went to a Seder. I went to a pretty legit Seder once.
Okay.
At like a house where 30 members of the family were there plus me. And we did the full thing. I sang Dayenu.
30 people.
Part of my reading.
You sang Dayenu? I don't know if I know this
with
song.
everybody.
Huh.
But my part of the reading was like queuing up Dayenu, basically. Anyways, we ate all of the foods that come with that, and gefilte fish was part of it. And I don't really remember. I remember liking it, but I don't really remember it much past
It's
that.
so good. It's just so savory and delicious. And it's so good. Such a poor food.
Like a poor man's food?
Yeah. Well, I don't remember the symbolism. There's symbolism behind everything that you eat for most Jewish holidays.
Right.
Or some historical precedent. But gefilte fish is like mostly white fish, which is definitely like a poor type of seafood.
Right.
But it's like kind of a mix of other things. They just throw the whole fish in there. It's like everything. It's not like,
Oh.
it mixes in with like some vinegar or something. I don't know. I don't know how you make it. But, the Jews have been historically a very poor, enslaved people.
Right.
A lot of hard times.
Right.
A lot of hard times. So you got to remember those times.
That's true.
And it's just, I get more points towards Judaism. They're the underdogs.
Right. I like that more.
I've always felt like an underdog.
Right.
I guess that settles it.
It's a good outcome. I
Throw
think.
up a graphic. Me, who edits this.
Bang.
Judaism.
It wins.
The best Judaism wins.
The best religion 2023.
Man, I wonder, have the Jews come to this conclusion already? Is that why, like...
They stick to it.
Yeah. I feel like, man, that's a hot take. It's definitely a hot take.
Right, because what keeps them there? It's funny. Yesterday I was at a Barnaby-themed birthday party.
Barnaby?
Barbie themed.
Oh, right, nice.
Barnaby themed.
Barnaby themed.
And there was someone there that I met that was like, I've been elementary school teacher for 5 years, and she was just shitting on it the whole time. Like, I hate this part about it. I hate that. I hate that. I hate that. I hate this about it. And I was like, I finally like cut in and I was like, why do you keep doing it? She was like, because at the end of the day, I know I love it. And I'm like, I don't believe you. But anyway, I forget why I brought that up.
Oh.
Damn it. Why did I bring that up?
Good little tangent.
Yeah, it was funny, I guess. I think it had to do with the, I forget. Little bonus thought for everybody.
Bonus thought. Chew on that one.
Oh, well.
Do what you love. Unless you hate it.
Right.
Right.
Do something that you 1% like. It seems not like a good ratio.
And if you hate your religion, maybe it's because
that's what it was.
You're not working.
That was why I said
the
it.
Best one.
Like, what keeps the Jews going through all the tumult?
There's something
and issues.
Compelling about it,
right?
For sure. And I think just by virtue of being persecuted, it makes you want to really dig in.
It's like a sunk cost type. Like, I'm already so that my ancestors are. I'm invested in the forum of my ancestors being
so
fucked up and whatnot. Yeah.
It makes the heritage much more fulfilling. To be a Holocaust survivor or descendant of one,
right? You're carrying a torch in a way.
Yeah, it's poignant. Being a descendant, like a second generation Mormon, not nearly as significant.
Okay, so do you think you're coming more to? I mean, I guess we have
already set Judaism's number one.
You've already set aside Mormonism.
We're just coming up with more reasons why Judaism is the best.
I didn't necessarily see it coming, but it makes
me either.
Sense.
I genuinely didn't know which direction I was going to go, but I think we've really honed in on it. Proof of concept. We can answer these questions, these big questions, in real time.
The best religion.
Who would have thought? Well, this is gonna be big, dude.
I didn't see that coming.
This is gonna be on the news.
Yeah, I think so. What the fuck?
I'm gonna be at the gym, the only place where the news is playing in my life, on the TVs at the gym.
Right.
It's gonna be on CNN and Fox.
Do you take it? Do you pay it attention when you're there?
I can't avert my eyes because Fox always has like some hilarious inflammatory headline. Well, yeah, they got all of them. They got like 12 TVs.
Got it. Well, that's nice.
So CNN is usually more clinical, although objective, but the average Fox news enthusiast might not feel that way. But Fox is always like, it's like feels like a schoolyard bully, just coming up with they're like so close, just calling them liberal cucks, in the headline.
Yes,
it's like liberal cucks pissing their pants over climate change.
Right, it gets that ridiculous. I know exactly what if you haven't turned on Fox News in a while, just do it to check it out.
It's amazing. If you remember it as a kid being a legitimate news source. Or news, it's really not anymore. And I've gone to the gyms at all times of day. I feel like, I don't know if there's a part of the day where Fox reports news, a real news network, but no matter who's on, whether it's Tucker Carlson or Hannity or one of the other, dudes, it's like the headlines on the bottom are always hilarious.
Yeah, it's if you haven't checked it out, you'll just turn it on. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
you can't believe that it's as salacious as it is.
If you just woke up from a 20-year coma, was Fox even well-adjusted 20 years ago? I don't know. I
would be interested to look back because I do remember being they're just a different CNN. But CNN, similarly, in their own way, also getting more.
Yeah, it's all getting more
overflowing in these ways.
It's all going to heck.
Yeah.
But not us, because we're going to be... Well, Jews don't go to hell. There's no afterlife at Judaism, canonically.
I kind of like that.
Yeah. I like it. Keep it clean.
Take it out of the equation.
Just make it stop.
Just make it stop.
That's what you get.
Just eat some matzah and then be like, that's enough.
Yeah.
100 years later.
Eat some matzah. Be a good person. Do your mitzvahs. And then die. And just the lights turn off and you're done.
Yeah, that seems sensible.
I think we should wrap it up.
All right.
I think we've hit our quota.
Yeah, this was good.
It's a successful inaugural episode. The Slime Zone. I feel slimed up. I feel goopy.
Oh, I am. Yeah, I'm coated in a thin grease from the sort of backsplash of the slime that we were just tossing around. Proverbially speaking.
A lot of splat droplets of just insight, just coating us and grease, and
lubricating me.
We're lubed up. I think sipping from the well of goo of life every now and then is good. It's meditation. I think that's what we're doing here.
Centers me.
Maybe we should start our own religion.
Yeah.
I think we're on the cusp. It only feels right that we would start with the discussion about religion.
Yeah.
On a podcast that inevitably leads to a religion.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll chip away.
Yeah. We'll chip away. We shouldn't. I don't want to make any promises, but I feel
maybe we'll find our very own religion at the end of this journey.
Maybe we will. Maybe the best religion is yet to come. That's enough. Cool. I don't know how to end this.
I know. Maybe like that.
All right.
Hey, have a great evening.
Have a great... you always say evening. Have a great day. Morning.
Have a great morning.
Have a great afternoon. Have a great one.
Have a great one.
See you next time on The Slime Zone.